Starfield, one of the most anticipated games of 2023. But can your PC run it? Well, today we're going to look at some recommended specs, minimum specs, and what the Twitter community, which is a very small minority of the PC fan base, are running down below. And we're going to label this section Smash or Crash. Let's get to it. So with all that out of the way, we can finally get to the actual crux of the video, which is going to be this community post. This is not posted by Starfield, by the way. They said to post your build and specs below and see if those rigs are ready. So we're going to go through and give it a smash or crash, which going by the recommended specs and, you know, kind of how I feel, if you should be able to run this game or not. So let's begin. So we got the first note is here by 𝙗𝙗𝙪𝙧𝙚. Pretty cool name. He's running a 3090, a Threadripper Pro 3975WX. What the hell is that? I've heard of Threadripper. It was like a thing back in like 2018, 2019, something like that, right? I think they use like the big super boards where they have like the server board basically, and it's like the 8 RAM slots and all kinds of nonsense. Okay, so we had to go and look that up. So we're on Tech Power Up. This is the Threadripper. 32 cores, 64 threads. My God. Only a 4.2 gigahertz boost. Wow, this thing is massive. I know nothing about this thing. It came out in 2020. I said 2019. I was close. Oh, 2750 for just the CPU. My God. Yeah, he's got 250 gigabytes DDR4. That's a lot of memory. He's definitely doing something else other than gaming, because this is not a optimal gaming rig for like speed and like production and everything. Let's go on down the list, you know. So we got this guy with the 3070. He's got the 13700X at 4.25 gigahertz, 32 gigabytes of RAM. Kind of a little bit slow on a DDR4 side. I'll give him that, but not too bad. He's doing all right. I would say the CPU might be a little bit lagging behind, but I mean, hopefully the optimization can brute force him through. He should be all right. Moving on down, we have it's the first of the new gen, the Ryzen 800X3D, 7800X3D. He also has a 7900 XT, 64 gigabytes of RAM. He didn't specify what the speed was, so he's going for broke. You know, we'll see. I mean, it is an AMD sponsored game, so I would imagine that the 3D chips, them being their fastest processors that AMD has, they're probably gonna be pretty well optimized in this game. Shark, he's also getting a smash. All right, on to the next one. Oh, it's our first Intel 13th gen, the KF. Okay, not bad. 4090. Okay, 664 gigabytes, DDR5, 4800 XMP. You get 4 terabytes of SSD. Not bad. So what worries me with this guy, Mantis, is the 4800 megahertz on DDR5. That's gonna be slowing you down there, buddy, quite a bit. I know that the Intel 13th gen's a little bit shaky, getting above like 7,000 for the for DDR5. Unless you're like an overclocking god, you can go to 7,200, and if you're really crazy, you can go to like 8,000 or whatever. But 4,800 is pretty slow for DDR5. Going down to the next one, we have the Ryzen 9 5950X 3090. All right, 32 gigabytes of RAM, 4,000 megahertz. You know, a modest 1 terabyte NVMe SSD. I mean, should be fine. 5950X, not really a gaming CPU, more of a production more than anything. 3090, it's still very good. 4,000 megahertz RAM of DDR4. Okay, we got another one here. We got Terry, and he's got pictures. He's got the 12 core 5900, 32 gigabytes of memory, RTX 4080. No real stats to go with that, but he's giving us pictures. I do like pictures. That's a nice setup. Definitely a creator of some sort. You know, like I said before, you know, these CPUs not super quick for gaming. The 4080 should make quick work of pretty much anything. Definitely gonna be a bottleneck, but hopefully, you know, you're not doing. I mean, this isn't like an esports game, so you should be fine, mind you. So, Terry, you get a smash. Okay, we got our next guy, and he's trailing very close to the recommended specs. So he's got the Ryzen 5 3600. He's got the RTX 3060 16GB, 32GB of RAM. So a very, I would say, low-end budget build for sure. So we'll see. He might be crashing. I'm gonna be honest. He might be crashing. Well, he's riding the line a little bit. This guy's got the Ryzen 9 7950X, 32GB of RAM, DDR5. Doesn't say the speed. 4070 Ti. So the Ryzen 9 5950X is kind of along the same line of it not being that quick, but I mean, it's fast enough. They've made massive improvements to their like AMD shenanigans. 32 gigs DDR5. I'm guessing probably around 6,000, since that's kind of like the recommended for AMD stuff. So probably that. 4070 Ti, perfectly fine. There you go. You get yourself a smash. Another Intel guy. Oh, we got ourselves a bit of an old legend here. The i9 10900K 3080 Ti, 64GB of RAM. He's got the NVMe SSD. So the i9 10900K. This is still a very good CPU, even in like the modern times. It's got the grunt. So good on you. Yeah, you get yourself a smash. You get yourself to get 3080, got the RAM and everything. Yeah, keep on cruising, man. Moving on down, we got 𝗕𝗂𝗀𝗪 4090. Ooh, X3D. Okay, 664GB of RAM, 5600. Oh, you know, I need to bring that up to at least 6400, buddy. The 3D cache should make up for it though. His monitor is 4K 120. Oh, Ryzen 5 2600, a non-X, a 1660 graphics card. Buddy, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you do you're getting the crash. You're getting the crash here, buddy. That is way too low. You're looking at maybe 720p, maybe 15 FPS on low, maybe. You're better off just going to console. I'm gonna be honest. This is not gonna be a good time. From a quick glance, there's a lot of AMD CPUs and builds and stuff like that. Not really too many Intel, at least for the top half. I'm sure if I scroll all the way down here, I'll find like a bunch of more Intel setups and everything. Just at a quick scrolling, I'm seeing a whole bunch of nonsense. Intel this and 3080 that and yada yada yada. Very good stuff. Don't take this video too harshly, guys. Like, I'm literally just like memeing. Don't go and like cry to me about your hardware setups. Everything is probably gonna be fine. Besides that one guy that has a 2600, he's gonna have a bad time. Well, all that out of the way, let me show you my specs. Now, if you've been around the channel for a little while, I've done a lot of videos on my build so far, and I have a X3D, 5800 X3D, the 2080 Ti, 64GB of RAM at 3800 megahertz, 1 terabyte of the NVMe. So I should be fine for the recommended specs. And I have that all like, you know, maxed out, overclocked, whatever. So we'll see when the game launches on September 1st. I did get the digital edition or whatever, so we'll have it here early. We can do some testing on it early. And what do you guys think of the video? That's all for now. See you on the next one.